Okay. Try these ones out. So buggy, but completable so far. Phone's beeping at me.
Welcome to the basic building tutorial, where you'll learn how to begin placing voxels. You must first be in build mode. We will start by deploying. Now you must equip the material you wish to build with. Open your to be able to deploy a material you can add it to your now to deploy.
It says 8. Okay.
Great job. Now let's go over how to revert your changes.
Said 8,
Anything you
but that's
build in
only
a
6.
construct can be undone quite easily. Simply enter build. Feel free to practice for a bit. When you're done, disable build, move to the next platform, and we can continue. There is an additional way to remove voxels besides the undo function. Select the Deploy Voxel tool. With the Deploy Voxel tool now active, hold down the invert key. As a general rule, this key is used to invert any tool action, and you will to remove multiple voxels, simply follow the same procedure you took for placing them but keep the key pressed. In particular, you can drag and drop a volume in the same way you did when deploying voxels. Remove the red wall and enter the next room to continue. Looks like you've got the hang of it. In addition to cubes, the deploy now activate your voxel deploy tool. You can change the shape of your voxel brush by pressing the change shape key. Each time you press the change shape key, the voxel brush shape will cycle to the next available type. Combine these shapes and you can build anything imaginable. Check out the remaining shapes and then we'll continue. Now let's explore how to resize your voxel brush. When you have the Deploy Voxel tool active, holding the modifier key and scrolling the mouse wheel plus will adjust the current size of your selected voxel shape. Try increasing and decreasing the voxel brush size now.
Delete. Alright, changing voxel size. Oh.
Great. Now we'll try placing voxels in each of the possible brush shapes. As you can see, the position of the brush is controlled by where you look. But when placing voxels or elements, you can also gain precision by moving your point of contact around using the following keys. Pressing will revert to the mouse look-based positioning. Okay. Let's place a cube, the standard shape type for voxel placement. Place a sphere next. Spheres can be tricky to work with, but through creative use of their shape you'll be able to fashion anything you can
Yeah,
imagine.
they need softer
Dragging
normal
while creating
maps.
this shape will extend the radius of the voxel brush. Now place a triangle. This shape is fantastic for reducing sharp edges on your structures, and are great for creating ramps and other similar angled surfaces. Dragging out this shape changes the angle of the edge, or the width of the voxel brush. Now, place a cylinder. This shape is absolutely perfect for pillars, complex curved shapes, and similar creations. Dragging while creating this shape will extend the height of the voxel brush. Finally, place a tetrahedron. It is easy to identify. Tetrahedrons are among the trickiest voxel shapes to place, but provide a fantastic slanted edge that the triangle voxel cannot replicate. Dragging out this shape changes the height and width of the voxel brush. Move to the next room to continue. The Select Voxel tool allows you to rapidly activate your Select Voxel tool. To use the Select Voxel tool, you will have to progressively define a rectangular volume by designating points that must be included. You'll notice that your cursor now displays the voxel content. You can rotate a selection, elements, the voxel brush or voxel elements through using the rotate key and scrolling with the mouse wheel. Tapping the rotate key will instead flip the axes of the selection. The rotation plane is determined by the current surface you are pointing at. To continue, adjust the rotation of your element using the rotate key and scrolling with them. You can cancel any selection you have made quite easily, should you need to do so. When you cancel a selection or swap tools when using the Select Voxel tool, you will lose your currently saved selection stored in the voxel buffer. To reapply your previously selected shape, you need only to activate the Select Voxel tool, tool select _tool _index/tool, once again, and press the paste hotkeys. Try doing this now.
Okay.
The Select Voxel, tool select _tool _index/tool, tool has some other useful features. In addition to copying and pasting, it is also able to cut and remove voxels. Both cut and remove are accomplished in essentially the same way as copying. Select a starting and ending point using the voxel brush. Once you have made a selection, you will be able to now try the same process, but after you create your selection, press the remove key. Feel free to play with rotation, cutting, copying, removing and paste. Predefined objects you can place on to deploy an element, you'll first need to select the. Now go ahead and open your inventory. Look into your inventory and find the element named. Now that you have an element type placed in a slot, you can place it down on the construct. Don't forget that you can hold rotate, or use your mouse wheel, to adjust how it is oriented. Tapping the key will cycle through each possible contact surfaces it can be placed on. This allows for complete control over how your elements are deployed. The Move Element tool allows you to relocate elements you have. With the tool active, choose an element you placed, and click the left mouse button. Now we'll cover the Translate function, and how to hold the Translate key, and use the mouse wheel to adjust the distance of an element relative to the desired surface. Also, using this tool you can lock the element to one plane, which is useful since you can place it on the surface you want, and move it along the desired plane, even in midair. Remember, the invert key is inverting the current tool's use, allowing for removal of elements rather than placing them. Use invert and click on the elements you added. Your highlight feedback should be orange in color when doing so, indicating that the element can be that covers basic elements. To continue, go. So far, you've been working within existing constructs. Next, we'll go over how to create a construct from scratch. To accomplish this, you will require a core unit. These enable you to construct buildings, ships and space stations. For now, we're just going to worry about static core units, which are used for buildings. Now head outside towards the waypoint. Open your inventory when you are ready to proceed to the next step. Equip your static core into your temporary slot by double-clicking it. Before you can place a core, you must enable the Deploy Ground Element tool, tool deploy _tool _index/tool. Under Novian law, you would normally be required to deploy a territory unit to claim land, and then deploy a static core. This tutorial waives this requirement. Locate a place a small distance beside or behind the nearby building. Point your core unit at the ground, and deploy it to complete placement. Note that you can also use the translate function to elevate your core above the ground.
Hmm. There we go. Oh no. This one, of course, this one would be skill dependent. Alright, I had to skip this step.
You've successfully deployed a static core. From here, you can start to add voxels and elements to it, and build a home. Give it a shot using all that you've now got a solid understanding of how to use build mode both for elements and you now have an understanding of some of the build tools, and how to use them to create amazing structures and ships. There are more tools you can try and discover by yourself. Remember, you can always
Oh, there goes the server.